Hello, it's Bob on Wednesday, January the 14th. I know it's a bit early, but my reflection today is for Burns Day in 2 weeks' time. I've had an interest in Rabbie Burns, our national poet, for most of my life. Firstly in primary school, then I kind of forgot him through secondary school, and it wasn't until I became a teacher myself that I found his work such an inspiration for youngsters. To a moose, to a mountain daisy, the toothache, the louse, they were all great for descriptive writing or painting, and then learning his classic narrative poem, the pinnacle of his career, Tam O'Shanter. Burns was born of the people, a ploughman. He made a name as a published poet, was taken up by society, then neglected, and died an unhappy man with heart failure at the very early age of 37. His schools, where he tuned his writing skills, were the thatched cottage, with a tutor hired by his father, or listening to stories at his nanny's knee, the open field and nature, the tavern with his mates, much more valuable places for this student of life than either Glasgow or St Andrews universities. To many adults, his morals and love life are controversial. He had little time for cant and hypocrisy among the gentry, the legal profession and the kirk. But I think his respect for his fellow man and his faith in God was rock solid. What though on hamely fare we dine, wear hodden grey and all that? Gie fools their silks and knaves their wine, a man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, their tinsel show and all that, the honest man, though e'er sae poor, is king o' men for all that. It is as a poet of love, care and humanity that Burns is so great. In the latter years of his life, he was a regular churchgoer at St Michael's in Dumfries, and he had his family pew there. He wrote prayers, eulogies and epitaphs for family, friends and colleagues, and rewrote some of the Psalms in verse. He knew he was very ill when he wrote this prayer of confession in the 1790s. If I have wandered in those paths of life I ought to shun, as something loudly in my breast remonstrates I have done, thou knowest that thou formed me with passions wild and strong, and listening to their witching voice has often led me wrong. Where human weakness has come short, or frailty stepped aside, do thou all good, for such thou art, in shades of darkness hide. Where with intention I have erred, no other plea I have, but thou art good, and goodness still delighteth to forgive. If you're going to a Burns supper, a Scots night, or just enjoying some haggis, neeps and tatties at home in the next week or two, then a toast to Rabbie, and I wish you all the best for 2026. God bless.